And I tell you, that was the second part because he visited the Oka prisons where he met with 5 of the prisoners.
Yes.
And aside granting them amnesty, he gave them 1 million naira each for them to start life with when they are released.
That's quite generous. Thank you. Yes, go on. The last part, very quickly.
The last part was the visit to the market where he felicitated with the people, you know. He met the less privileged, the poor, gave them gifts, and met with the market people, you know, gave them hope too.
Okay.
Because today was that of hope also.
Hope is a very big thing. Thank you very much, Joy. We will have to leave it there. Thank you very much for the updates on what happened in Anambra State. It seems a lot happened in that state compared to a number of other states where it was low-key marking of the day. Thank you very much and have a good evening. Happy Independence Anniversary again.
Thank you, sir.
So let me come back to Mr. Idoko then. In terms of what we have to do going forward, we've had 55 years. A number of people have said, no way, we scored less than 20%. Some said it's 30, others 40. My good friend here, Karabuka, says we're about 50-ish. What should we be looking at? If you have to name or number 3, 4 things, key things, that you would expect this government to do in the next 4 years that will prepare us for another 50 years?
Okay, I would, yes, 55 years gone. Some say wasted. 55 years, let's project into the future. What will be Nigeria, if you ask me, in 55 years to come? I may not be there then, or I may be still be there, I don't know. But the 4 key things I should imagine we should be looking at critically. One is leadership. What character of leadership do we have? Just like the son was saying, that there is nothing, no input into infrastructure, into anything so far. Just the body language. The fact that there is new leadership. We love that word, body language. Yeah, we do like it because, just the behavior or the entry behavior of a new leader. What you see is a change of personalities. Nothing really has changed, except that this personality has set a moral tone. And that moral tone is what is guiding the entire country today. So that those who had, contemplated evil, are beating a retreat. Leadership is number 1. Number 2, we should focus on education. The education sector is in tatters. And until we give priority attention to education, we are going nowhere. Then, of course, the economy, that's very, very important. There's no way, we can even develop, as an economy without focus on the economy. Then the other thing is the fight against corruption. Because corruption has eaten so deep into the fabrics of this nation that it has become a culture. In fact, some people had even suggested in the past that we should actually adopt corruption as part of our culture. Then we'll start managing it. I know that's a very crazy idea, but it's just to express, how bad it is, that we're so neck deep in corruption. And to get out of it, you need very drastic and dramatic, reform. Now, look at what is happening, even with the leadership, the body language, the moral tone being set. And even the president himself said that if you are fighting corruption, corruption is going to fight
It's going to fight back, okay. That's true. Corruption will definitely fight back. So leadership, education, economy, corruption. What will be the 4 key things you will say we should focus on going forward now?
I will actually pin it on some of the things my colleague had mentioned, which is, 1, of course, education matters. It matters a great deal. But the fundamental thing is actually the tone of leadership. The leadership matters in the sense that when people get the right sort of leadership through this democratic process, right, we will never go back to the old ways of doing things. Why do I say that? The change will be so palpable that people would not wish the good or the bad old days. Because there is a certain level of moral prudence, moral issues that are connected with President Buhari. And I see it happening around the world. I mean, if you notice, even the reception outside of Nigeria of him, it matters a great deal. The change is so, you know, everybody feels it to the extent that that becomes an important criteria. Is it leadership or is it the institution that matter? Because we have issues with weak institutions, we have issues with corruption, we have the insecurity issues, and if you count infrastructure, including education and healthcare as infrastructure, you have those 4 key elements that, if properly addressed, going forward, the country is going to be on a platform that would not, you know, bring it back. It will catapult out to the stratosphere.
Okay. Yeah, so with what you've just said now, we will have to go, we're going to Delta now, and we'll come back and close. So let's talk to Vivian Oramadike. Vivian, good evening and happy independence.
Good evening, Coyote. Happy independence to you.
Good. Now tell us what happened in Asaba today.
Yes, there was a lot of celebration filled in the air at the Senator Center in Asaba, Delta State capital. We had a lot of dignitaries all present to grace the occasion. We had traditional rulers, of course, His Excellency Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa was there present. We had cultural groups displaying, you know, all of their dancing. The different tribes in Delta State, the Urubos, the Ishakiris, and all of that. And then, of course, you could see that people were smiling, you know, despite the challenges we are facing as a country. There were so many smiles in the face of people, and everybody was happy. We also had the governor, you know, talking to everybody, reassuring Deltans and Nigerians that all is well and there is hope.
Okay, so there is hope. Thank you very much on that point. We want to say thank you very much, Vivian. We will look forward to speaking with you in the coming days and weeks. Enjoy the Independence Anniversary. Vivian Oramadike, our correspondent in Delta State. So, just as we wrap up then, your own, as far as you're concerned, would you say that, well, okay, your final word actually, because I've been told we have very little time left.
The final word is actually that of hope. I'm extremely hopeful of the future of Nigeria. I look at Nigeria, and when I mean future, the next 20, 25 years, Nigeria is going to be with the right kind of leadership, which is basically dictated by what had happened in March. And the hope is there that the future is bright.
Okay.
Right.
I'm told little time in one sentence, Mr. Doko.
Well, of course, I will harp on the fact that we should be hopeful, you know, as a country, that we should look forward to greater things to happen, you know, and then we must also think very seriously about the kind of democracy, you know, we put in place. We should not expect everything to be optimal. That's the advice I will give.
Okay, thank you very much. I guess I like the way you ended it, because I remember listening to one of the speakers today on one of the programs that we had, where he was saying that everything has got to be done in a way that, one, engenders hope, and two, we're not just praying, but we are acting on that prayer. Yeah. So on that note, I want to say thank you very much, Mr. Kyari Bukar, Chairman of the Nigeria Economic Summit Group Board, and also the CEO of CSCS. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, communication expert and specialist, Mr. Nick Idoko. Great to have you on the show today.
Thank you very much.
All right, on that note, we want to say thank you very much for being a part of our 2-hour conversation about Nigeria at 55, where we've been, what we've done, and how we've rated ourselves, and where we're going forward. And I guess the key word that's coming out of all of this conversation is the fact that there is hope, and we've got to rely on that, but we've got to act on it so that we're not sitting back, doing nothing, expecting things to happen. On that note, I want to say thank you very much for being here. My name is Kadi Akintemi, and I hope you've had fun being with us. Have a good night.